So, last week, yes. Yes. I did better. I'm starting to get some of that mojo back, baby! 10-3 picking winners, 9-4 against the spread. Hot diggity damn. The second straight week that with the winners, I got at least 10 right. Ain't much to write home about, but compared to some of the previous weeks, it is a significant improvement, and here's hoping the Schleg Daddy is breaking out of the slump, because ultimately, I don't want to have to go find a slump buster. Let's just put it that way. So let's see here on week 9, if we can, for the third week in a row, show some improvement and some progress. And of course, got off to that rip-roaring flying start last night with the picks. Ooh, Buffalo over the Jets. Whoopsie daisies, not so much. So already starting off in the hole. But hell, I started off in the hole last week and it turned out just fine. So let's hope it does this week too. Let's get to the damn week 9 picks, shall we? You got Baltimore going to Tennessee. Tennessee's favored by 3. Tennessee's gotta feel heartened a little bit that maybe that division could be theirs for the taking, especially with the injury to Deshaun Watson. Maybe they feel like only Jacksonville really truly is going to stand in their way, and that's probably right. Tennessee coming off of the bye, give me Tennessee minus the 3. New Orleans is favored at home by 7 over the Buccaneers. The Saints are one of the biggest surprises in the NFL this year at 5-2. The Bucs, conversely, one of the biggest disappointing surprises at 2-5. Give me the Saints to win, but I do think because it's a divisional game and the Bucs will have to be somewhat motivated to come out and play well, I think they'll keep it close and cover the 7-point spread. The Rams go to the Giants as 3-point favorites. The Giants are 1-6. They're a mess. They're a bad team. The Rams have had some time to prepare. Sometimes you feel iffy about making these type of picks for a team from the West Coast having to travel all the way to the East Coast because there is something to that. But I just feel like even though the Rams defense has struggled, the Giants offense just didn't have enough talent or ability to capitalize on it. Give me the Rams minus the 3. Philly's favored by 7.5 at home over the Broncos, who are starting who? Brock Osweiler? Oh shit, give me the Philadelphia Eagles minus 7.5. The Falcons travel to Carolina. Carolina's a half-point favorite. This will be an interesting matchup between these two teams, and you know, it almost feels like the winner of this game might make the playoffs at the end of the season, and the loser of this game will not. We'll see what happens with Carolina with the Kelvin Benjamin trade. That was really weird and strange to me. But give me Carolina minus the half-point. Jacksonville hosts Cincinnati as 5.5-point favorites. I think Jacksonville will win, but give me Cincinnati to cover the 5.5. Indianapolis, the Colts, Pagano, Brissett, no luck. Oh my! They go to Houston to take on the Tom Savage-led Houston Texans. Poor Houston. You get decimated by a hurricane, but then you get the highlight of the Houston Astros winning the World Series for the first time in the 5+ decade history of the organization. To then the very next day, the sports gods say, screw you, here's our payback. We're going to rob you of Deshaun Watson and his ACL for the rest of the year. Poor Houston fans. And if any of you tweeted you would trade Deshaun Watson's ACL for Houston Astros World Series championship, well, you got your wish. And tell me how that feels now. I look at this, and Tom Savage is not very good. And that Houston Texans defense, frankly, is not very good. And you wonder with the Bob McNair comments and the trade of Dwayne Brown combined with the Deshaun Watson injury, you know, could this Texans team be getting ready for a nosedive? Because you're talking about, you know, they didn't have Dwayne Brown all year because of the contract holdup, but he was one of their best players. They lost their 2 best players on defense in Watt and Merciless for the season. Now you've lost your best offensive player in Deshaun Watson, your starting quarterback. I got to take the Colts plus the 7 here. I think they win. Moving on to the Sunday late afternoon games. Arizona's without Carson Palmer, traveling to San Francisco. I say San Francisco, but Santa Clara to the Field of Genes to take on the winless 49ers. I know Arizona's favored by 1, but they don't have Carson Palmer. Maybe they feel like Adrian Peterson's going to have a big day against that 49ers run defense, and he probably does. But with the news of the Garoppolo deal, and I know he's not going to play, but maybe that's something that will motivate Z.J. Beathard to play a little bit better. I think the moment is at hand for the 49ers to get on the victory board for the first time this year. That's right, I think the San Francisco 49ers win this week. The Redskins, with all their injuries on the offensive and defensive line, travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks, who are favored by 8. Give me the Seahawks minus the 8. KC, the Chiefs, who have kind of scuffled a little bit here in recent weeks, go to Dallas to take on the 4-3 Cowboys, who have just found out they're going to have Zeke on Sunday. Hooray! And he may very well feed some more against that Chiefs defense. It should be a marquee game. Hopefully it lives up to being a really good game in that late afternoon slot. I like the Cowboys here minus the 0.5 point at home with Ezekiel Elliott there, because the part of me wonders that Ezekiel Elliott is going to continue to run like a man possessed for as long as he's able to play, because he doesn't know if he's going to be able to play from one week to the next. The Sunday night matchup, this looks like a real doozy. The Raiders at 2-5 travel to take on the 4-3 but not very good Miami Dolphins, who just traded away Jay Ajayi. Woo! Woo! Another one of those examples of an NFL primetime game, which should be primetime for you to either A, catch up on your sleep, or B, watch something else on television. The Raiders are favored by 3. I don't know why they would be favored at this point, and I don't know why they would be favored by 3. I have no real logic or anything that dictates I should take them, because even if I say, well, if Cutler's going to start for him, but being a smartass, there's so much more to the picture, and it's not like the Raiders have really been any freaking good this year. Carr's been inconsistent. Beast mode has been mediocre mode. Now, maybe he comes off of this one-game suspension and he does something, I don't know. I'll take the Raiders minus the 3, but it is just literally, I flipped a coin to determine this one. And then Monday night, you've got the Lions traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Usually this would be an easy pick. The Lions are on the road against a team with a winning record. You pick the Packers. Of course, this is not the Packers you're used to because they don't have Aaron Rodgers, and Brent Hundley really hasn't shown you much. That said, the Packers are coming off of a bye. The Lions are coming off of a tough loss Sunday night at home against the Steelers. Because I always feel like there's a couple of upsets each week. Even they don't always seem to have a whole lot of logic behind them. Give me the Packers plus the 1 to beat the Lions on Sunday. So there you go. This is going to be my 3rd straight week of double-digit correct picks, damn it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.